I'm James Peck.
Okay.
My son and I own Long's Drug Store.
Okay.
And when I
I've been there
first
a few
came to
times.
Long's in 1959, I found out my boss was son-in-law was Kyle Testerman. That was funny to me and strange to a degree because when I was at Carson Newman College, I had to play Kyle in tennis every time we met at UT. And of course, that was always a joke. And we were playing one day on the old uh, Armory courts. Uh, I've forgotten exactly where they were at UT. Anyhow, they had a crowd there, and of course, everybody wanted to watch Kyle play tennis. So I got in on it. I was on the opposite side of the court. We were about halfway through the match, and one of us wasn't doing too well, and of course, it wasn't Kyle. But he came to the net and he said, "Jim, do you mind if we stop for a while?" And I said, "Kyle, I don't care if we quit." And he says, "No, seriously, I think my fraternity house is on fire." And sure enough, the SAE house was on fire, which it did catch on fire, I think, about once every month. And I said, "Well, let's just go up and see what's going on." So we put our rackets down on the court and left and headed. And Mr. Buchanan, the coach, says, "Where are you going, Kyle?" He said, "We'll be back in a minute." And we went off to see his fraternity house burn. It did not, but fraternity members were throwing pictures of the girls out the window to save them. Of course, they were breaking up, just like I was. But that's a Kyle Testerman story that I have remembered for years because I'm playing one of the better tennis players anywhere that I could have been playing against. And he comes to the net with, "Do you mind if we stop for a while?" That was sweet.
Very good. How often did you play tennis with him?
Well, let's see. I was a senior. I think he was a freshman, so I only met him twice. Afterwards, I saw him at the racket club a lot. As a matter of fact, he came to me when they were building the racket club and said, "Hey, we got a good thing going over here. Why don't you join up?" And I joined the racket club before it was a club because of Kyle, and I'm so glad I did. Had some wonderful times up there. As a matter of fact, ran into another good friend up there by the name of Howard Blum, and I'll let you tell his story. Between he and I, we had a great time.
What kind of playing tennis with Kyle? What kind of opponent was he?
What kind of what?
Opponent was he?
Kyle was one of the toughest opponents you'll ever run into. He could beat you in many, many ways. And of course, when I played him, it was compounded because I was not that good. I just enjoyed the game a lot. I played a lot of years, but I never reached the heights, of course, that Kyle ever has done. I've seen him do so many things on a tennis court, like if he wanted to hit an overhead, he had to get on one knee. He would do it that way. So he just did things that you possibly cannot see done on a tennis court nowadays, and they were all joyful moments for me because I enjoyed the game and enjoyed a good player.
His personality on the court. Did it translate into life and the other things that he did? Did you see that when you were playing with him?
Well, I didn't see that kind of a change because he didn't need that with me. he was not benevolent, but he did not need that change, and we could just be friends on the court. As a matter of fact, down through the years, because of his connection with Long's Drug Store as husband of Dr. Long's daughter, we ran into each other quite frequently. And when I had my 70th birthday some years ago, my wife invited 3 people to a birthday party. And this was a strange mix. One was a retired police captain, one was Doug Atkins, if you've ever heard of him, and the other was Kyle Testerman. We had a birthday party.
Was it a good mix for you?
It was fun.
Sounds good.
That's about it.
Any other memories or anything you want to share? Watching the family?
Not for the ages, no thank you.